we need to build trust with the public, with party members, and we actually need to show that we're listening.
Now, I'm going to argue against everything that Andrea Jenkyns is about to say, so let's hear how totally deluded she is.
And I think another issue where we've gone wrong is we've gone too far to the centre, and there's not much difference where policy is concerned between us and Labour.
She thinks that the Tories are too centre ground. Anyway, carry on, Jenkyns.
Now, I thought I'd be a bit of a rebel last week. Surprise, surprise. I got hold of a press pass and I went to the Reform conference just to see what it was like. And it was actually like it was here under Boris. You know, the energy, the passion. There's more arrogance and cocksure than we are. You know, we're Conservative with a small c. We're not as flashy as that. But the energy was amazing. And I want our party to be like that again. And I don't think we can ignore Reform.
You can't ignore them, but trying to emulate them means that you're going to end up being Reform light. And if you're a Reform voter, why would you go to see a covers band of them? Now back to the good old days of lying grifter Boris Johnson.
Now, if I just take my membership, when Boris was Prime Minister, if you think my seat was Labour for 85 years, I took it off Ed Balls. Thank you. So long ago now. Maybe I need to learn to dance as well and do his route. I had 460 members under Boris, and during Rish's tenure, I went down to 120. So this election was very difficult. I didn't have any activists. I've got my office manager, stroke campaign manager here, and it was a bruising election, wasn't it?
So I think what we're witnessing here is, due to many factors, people are becoming more and more disillusioned with politics in general. One scandal after another and the mess of Brexit have meant people are more apathetic than ever. And funnily enough, Johnson's behaviour whilst Prime Minister is a large part of that.
But what we found on the doorstep, that there was a big chunk of people who was undecided, but let's face it, they buggered off to Reform or they stayed at home. So we cannot ignore Reform.
Reform are a protest vote, the same as Brexit was. Farage represents a chance to give a bloody nose to the establishment because it appears the establishment aren't listening. So drill down, listen, present something that's beyond talking about culture wars and immigration.
And what I did in the lead up to the election, from March onwards, I met with Nigel Farage. I also met with Rishi Sunak. And I said, we need to do some kind of arrangement here, because otherwise we'll have consecutive Labour governments going forward if we don't get our act together. Why are we fighting each other? We should be fighting the socialists who are going to ruin our country. And look what we've seen the last 3 months. It's been dire. And I dread to think what the next 5 years bring.
No, not the socialists. Anything but socialism. What is your alternative though, Andrea? At the moment it appears just more fear-mongering to scare people to vote for you. Give us something to make our lives better. Click here for Jenkyns' appalling reaction to Elon Musk's tweet.